You wake up, you look in the mirror, and you don't even recognize the person looking back. Not because you've changed, but because you've become a ghost in your own life. You walk into a room, you join a conversation, you offer an opinion, and it's like you never spoke at all. People look through you, they talk over you, they treat you like background noise in their own movie. And there was a kid, let's call him Leo. Backbencher, last pick, always ignored. One day, he stopped trying to be seen and started trying to be better. 5 a.m. wake-ups, running when his lungs burned, saying no to energy drainers. 6 months, no posting, no showing, just building. And when he returned, he didn't speak louder. His presence spoke for him. There is no shortcut to character. Confidence is the result of a life where promises are kept, where discipline is daily, where you can look in the mirror and say, "I trust you." Your transformation doesn't start tomorrow. It starts with the next choice you make. Choose discipline. Choose self-respect. Choose growth. Build the mountain and let confidence be the shadow it casts. There was a time when you cared too much about what people thought. Every look felt like judgment. Every silence felt like rejection. So you shrank yourself. You laughed less, you spoke less, you stopped sharing your ideas, not because you had nothing to say, but because you were afraid it wouldn't matter. And slowly, without even realizing it, you trained the world to treat you exactly the way you were treating yourself. Invisible. You kept waiting for a moment, some big transformation, some magical boost of confidence that would finally make you walk into a room and feel like you belonged. But that moment never came, because belonging is not something the world gives you. It's something you build, through the way you live when no one is watching. The truth is, your life changes the day you stop negotiating with your weak version. The day you wake up and say, "No more." No more snoozing the alarm. No more breaking promises to myself. No more choosing comfort over growth. Because every time you choose the hard path, you send a message to your mind. I am a person who does what I say. And that message, repeated daily, becomes your identity. You don't need to speak louder. You don't need to impress anyone. Your habits start speaking for you. Your posture changes. Your walk changes. Your eyes change. Not because you're trying to look confident, but because you're no longer lying to yourself. And there is nothing more powerful than a person who trusts themselves. Most people are addicted to motivation. They watch videos. They feel the rush. They say, "This is it." And the next day, they go back to the same life. But you are different. You are not here for motivation. You are here for transformation. Motivation is an emotion. Discipline is a decision. And decisions change lives. You have to fall in love with the boring work, the daily repetition, the unseen effort, the slow progress. Because that's where respect is built, not in the spotlight, in the shadows. When you study while others scroll, when you train while others sleep, when you keep going even when nobody claps. One day, you will walk into a room and people will feel your presence, not because you demanded attention, but because you earned your energy. You will speak and people will listen, not because you are louder, but because your words carry weight. And that weight comes from the thousands of moments when you chose growth over comfort. This is not about becoming better than others. This is about becoming someone you are proud of, someone who keeps their word, someone who finishes what they start, someone who doesn't run when things get hard. Because at the end of the day, the real flex is not money, not fame, not attention. The real flex is self-respect, the ability to look in the mirror and say, "I didn't quit." And one day, something strange will happen. You will wake up early, not because you have to, but because you want to. The alarm will ring, and instead of hitting snooze, you'll sit up immediately. Not with motivation, but with purpose. That's when you'll realize you are no longer at war with yourself. Your room will be quiet, your phone will be silent, the world will still be sleeping. And in that silence, you will meet the real you. The one who was always there, beneath the fear, beneath the excuses, beneath the doubt. The disciplined version, the focused version, the dangerous version. Because make no mistake, a person who can control themselves is unstoppable. Not the strongest, not the smartest. The most disciplined always wins. You will start keeping small promises. I will drink water first thing in the morning. Done. I will train for 20 minutes. Done. I will study even when I don't feel like it. Done. And with every completed task, you're rebuilding your self-image, brick by brick, day by day. And suddenly, you don't need motivation videos anymore, because your life has become the motivation. You walk differently now, not fast, not slow, but with certainty. You don't look at the ground anymore. You don't avoid eye contact, because you are not carrying the weight of guilt. You kept your word today, and that gives you a power that no clothes, no hairstyle, no fake confidence trick can ever give you. Your circle will start changing. Some people will call you different. Some will say you've changed. Some will feel uncomfortable around you. Let them. You didn't come this far to stay the same. You will start saying no without explaining yourself. No to distractions. No to energy drainers. No to things that pull you back into your old life. Because every time you say no to them, you say yes to yourself. There will be hard days, days when you feel tired, days when you feel like nothing is working, days when the old version of you comes back and whispers, "Skip today, rest today, you can start again tomorrow." And on those days, your entire future will depend on one decision: do it anyway. That is the moment where self-respect is born. Not when it's easy, not when you feel good, but when everything inside you says quit and you keep going. This path is lonely because most people will never understand why you are so obsessed with growth. They will call you extreme. They will call you boring. They will call you obsessed. But years later, they will call you successful. You are not missing out, you are building. While they are chasing weekends, you are building a life. While they are chasing approval, you are building standards. While they are talking, you are working. And one day, the results will speak so loudly that you won't have to say a word. Your body will show it. Your mindset will show it. Your lifestyle will show it. You will become living proof that self-respect changes everything. No more being the ghost in the room. Now, when you walk in, you bring presence. Calm, grounded, unshakable. Because you know something that most people don't. You trust yourself. And now, look at yourself. Not the old version of you, not the one who needed approval, not the one who waited to be chosen. Look at who you are becoming. A person who shows up. A person who finishes. A person who keeps their word even when it hurts. That is rare. That is powerful. That is dangerous. Because the world cannot control someone who doesn't need validation. They can't manipulate you with opinions. They can't shake you with rejection. They can't distract you with temporary pleasure. You have seen what discipline does. You have felt what self-respect feels like. And once you taste that, you will never go back to your old life. You don't fear being alone anymore, because you are no longer alone with a stranger. You are alone with someone you trust. Yourself. Remember this. You were never invisible. You were just out of alignment with your own power. And the moment you started keeping promises, the moment you chose growth over comfort, the moment you stopped running from hard things, you came back to life. This is your rebirth. Not loud, not for the world to see, but real. Built in early mornings, built in late nights, built in the days you didn't feel like it, but did it anyway. So from this moment, walk like a person who respects themselves. Speak like a person who keeps their word. Work like a person who knows their future is being built right now. No more waiting. No more hiding. No more being the background character in your own story. You are the author now. And every decision you make writes the next chapter. The mirror is no longer your enemy. Now when you look into it, you see someone who fights, someone who grows, someone who refuses to quit. And that feeling, that quiet confidence, that unshakable presence, that is earned. So the next time you feel like going back, the next time laziness calls your name, the next time your old life tries to pull you in, remember who you are becoming. Remember the promises you made. Remember the respect you built in the dark. This is your time. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now. Stand up. Do the work. Win the small battles. And become the person you were meant to be. And once you understand this, once it truly sinks into your bones, you stop asking the world for permission to exist. You stop raising your hand for approval. You stop editing your personality to make other people comfortable. You stop shrinking your dreams so they fit inside small conversations. Because a person who respects themselves does not negotiate their worth. They don't need to announce their value. They live in a way that makes it undeniable. And this is where most people fail. They want the visible result without the invisible work. They want the strong body without the painful training. They want the sharp mind without the lonely hours of study. They want the powerful presence without the years of keeping promises to themselves. But respect does not work like that. Respect is built in the moments where nobody is clapping. When you are tired and you still show up. When you are bored and you still stay consistent. When you are tempted and you still say no. That is where your new identity is forged. Not in motivation, in repetition, not in intensity, in consistency. Because intensity fades,
but consistency creates someone unrecognizable. There will be a phase in this journey where nothing seems to change. You wake up early, nothing happens. You train, nothing happens. You study, nothing happens. No praise, no attention, no results. This is the phase where most people quit, because the old you was addicted to quick validation. But the new you understands something different. You are not doing this for applause. You are doing this for alignment. You are becoming the kind of person who does the work whether it pays off today or not. And that is power. Your standards will rise. What once distracted you will start to look cheap. What once entertained you for hours will start to feel like a waste of life. Your time will become valuable to you. And when your time becomes valuable to you, you become valuable to the world. Not because you demand it, but because your actions make it obvious. You will also notice something else. Your words will become fewer. You will stop over-explaining. You will stop trying to prove yourself. You will stop arguing with people who are committed to misunderstanding you, because you no longer need to win conversations. You are busy winning your life. This is the shift from being liked to being respected. And they are not the same. Being liked is fragile. It depends on moods, opinions, trends. Respect is solid. It is built on your habits, your discipline, your consistency. And once you have it, it cannot be taken from you. You will still feel fear. You will still have bad days. You will still doubt yourself sometimes. But the difference is, you will act anyway, because you trust your system more than your emotions. You trust your routine more than your mood. You trust your discipline more than your excuses.
And this is the moment you stop being a ghost. Not when people notice you, but when you notice yourself. When you look in the mirror and instead of seeing disappointment, you see proof. Proof that you are trying. Proof that you are growing. Proof that you are no longer the person who quits. That is the day your presence changes. That is the day your energy changes. That is the day the world starts responding to you differently. Not because the world changed, because you did. And from that point forward, life stops feeling like something that is happening to you and starts becoming something you are building. You are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are choosing your actions. You are choosing your standards. You are choosing who you become every single day. And that choice, repeated daily, creates a presence that cannot be ignored. Not loud, not arrogant, not desperate for attention, just solid, like a structure built on bedrock. You begin to understand why your old life felt so heavy. It wasn't the people, it wasn't your situation, it wasn't your past. It was the constant weight of knowing you were capable of more, but not living up to it. That silent guilt, that quiet disappointment in yourself, that was the real anxiety. And discipline removes that. Because discipline is not punishment. Discipline is freedom. Freedom from regret. Freedom from self-doubt. Freedom from the version of you that keeps breaking your own heart. You start trusting your decisions. You don't need 10 opinions before you move. You don't need reassurance for every step, because you have built evidence. Evidence that you finish what you start. Evidence that you show up when it's hard. Evidence that you can rely on yourself. And self-trust is the rarest form of confidence. You also stop comparing yourself to everyone else, because you are too focused on becoming better than yesterday's version of you. Your competition becomes internal. Did I keep my word today? Did I move forward today? Did I grow today? That's it. And that simple shift removes so much noise from your life. You will notice how silence becomes comfortable. You no longer feel the need to fill every gap with words. You listen more, you observe more, you understand more. And when you finally speak, people listen, because your words are not coming from a need to be accepted. They are coming from a place of certainty. This is when your energy changes. Not fake confidence, not forced body language, real grounded presence. You walk into a room and you are calm. You sit down and you are composed. You speak and there is no rush, because you are not trying to take value from the room. You are bringing value into it. And here's the truth most people will never accept. This transformation is slow, painfully slow. There is no viral moment. There is no overnight success. There is no instant glow-up. It is built in ordinary days, in routines that feel repetitive, in choices that feel small, in actions that nobody notices. But those small actions stack, day after day, week after week, month after month, until one day you look back and you don't recognize the person you used to be. Not because you became someone else, but because you finally became yourself. The ghost is gone. In its place stands a person with standards, with discipline, with self-respect. A person who doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. A person who doesn't need validation to feel worthy. A person who doesn't run when life gets hard. And now, when you look in the mirror, you don't see perfection. You see effort. You see consistency. You see someone who kept going when it was easier to quit. And for the first time in your life, you feel proud. And understand this: pride in yourself is not ego. It is not arrogance. It is not thinking you are better than anyone else. It is the quiet satisfaction of knowing that you faced your own weakness and you did not run. That you made promises in the dark and you kept them in the light. That you rebuilt your life without needing the world to notice. That kind of pride is unshakable, because now, even if everything around you collapses, even if you doubt you, even if you fail, you still have something most people will never have. You have your word. And when you have your word, you have your power. The world starts to feel different. Not easier, but clearer. Distractions lose their grip. Cheap dopamine loses its taste. Empty conversations become exhausting. You are no longer entertained by things that once controlled you, because you have seen what it feels like to be in control of yourself. And nothing is more addictive than growth. You stop counting the days. You stop looking for quick results. You stop asking, "Am I there yet?" Because you realize This is not a 30-day challenge. This is not a phase. This is who you are now. A person who shows up, a person who works, a person who evolves. And then one day, someone will look at you and say, "You've changed." And you will smile. Not because you are trying to impress them, but because you remember the person you used to be, the one who was invisible, the one who was unsure, the one who was waiting. And you will feel something deeper than happiness, respect for yourself. That is the moment you finally understand everything. Confidence was never the goal. Attention was never the goal. Approval was never the goal. The goal was to become someone you could rely on, someone you could trust, someone who would never abandon themselves again. So from this point forward, no more breaking your own promises, no more shrinking to fit into small spaces, no more choosing comfort over growth. You have seen both versions of your life, the life of excuses and the life of discipline, and you know which one feels real. This path is not easy. It will test you. It will isolate you. It will demand more from you than you think you can give. But it will also give you something that cannot be bought. A solid identity, a calm mind, a powerful presence, a deep, unshakable self-respect. So when you wake up tomorrow, remember who you are now. Not the ghost, not the old story, but the person who builds, the person who keeps going, the person who does the work every single day. You were never meant to live unseen. You were never meant to live unsure. You were meant to stand firm, to walk with purpose, to live with discipline, and to become a person whose presence speaks before they even say a word. Build that person, protect that person, become that person. If this message found you at the right time, if you felt something shift inside you while listening, subscribe for more, because this is not just a video, this is the beginning of your new identity. Stay disciplined, stay consistent, and never go back to being a ghost again.